deal. Just gonna post the links real quick and we'll get started. Twitch. Alright, let's get started and get this page freaking done. I'm ready for it to be done. Why do I add so much detail to everything? I am my own worst enemy, but we're gonna get through this together. And then I'm gonna ink this sucker. That's what I'm gonna do. No, I'll add detail later. So I need everybody blocked in. Just gonna figure where to start. Minimize my Spotify app. You deserve like a... There we go. Well, that's something. Okay.
We never know how circumstances are going to change, and how our need for different kinds of people changes. At one time we may need very individualistic and aggressive people. At another time we may need very cooperative, team-working people. At another time we may need people who are full of interest in dexterous manipulation of the external world. At another time we may need people who explore into their own psychology and are introspective. There is no knowing, but the more varieties and the more skills we have, obviously, the better. So you see, here again, the problem comes out in genetics. We do not really know how to interfere with the way the world is. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The same problem arises in medicine because the body is a very complexly interrelated organism. And if you look at the body in a superficial way, you may see there's something wrong with it. It's chickenpox. And there's spots that itch and come all over the place. Well, you might say, well, spots are there, cut them off. So you kill the bug. Well, then you find you've got real problems. because you have to introduce some bugs to kill the bug. It's like bringing rabbits into Australia. And that starts going all over the place and getting out. But then you think, but now wait a minute. It wasn't the bugs in the blood. There are bugs all over the place. What was wrong with this person that his blood system suddenly became vulnerable to those particular bugs? His resistance wasn't up. Therefore, what you should have given him was not an antibiotic, but vitamins. Okay, so we're going to build up his resistance. But resistance to what? You may build up resistance to this and this and this class of bugs, but then there's another one that loves that situation. He comes right in. See, we always look at the human being medically in bits and pieces, because we have heart specialists, lung specialists, bone specialists, nerve specialists, and so on. And they each see the human being from their point of view. There are a few generalists, but they realize the human body is so complicated that no one mind can understand it. And furthermore, supposing we do succeed in healing all these people of their diseases, what do we then do about the population problem? I mean, we've stopped cholera, the black bubonic plague, we're getting the better of tuberculosis, we may fix cancer and heart disease. Then what will people die of? Well, then it's go on living. There'll be enormous quantities of us. And then we have to fix this birth thing. Pills for everybody. Then we find, what are the effects, the side effects of those pills? What are the psychological effects upon men and women of not breeding children in their usual way? We don't know. And what seems a good thing today, or yesterday, like DDT, turns out tomorrow to have been a disaster. What seemed in the moral and spiritual sphere, too, like great virtues in times past, are easily seen today as hideous evils. Let's take, for example, the Inquisition. In its own day, among Catholics, the Holy Inquisition was regarded as we today regard the practice of psychiatry. You see, you feel that in curing a person of cancer, almost anything is justified. The most complex operations, the most weird surgery, people suspended for days and days on end on the end of tubes with X-ray penetration, burning. Or people undergoing shock treatment, people locked in the colorless, monotonous corridors of mental institutions. In all good faith, they knew that witchcraft and heresy were terrible things, awful plagues, imperiling people's souls forever and ever. So any means were justified to cure people of heresy. We don't change. We're doing the same thing today, but under different names. We can look back at those people and see how evil that was, but we can't see it in ourselves.
I should not sit on this couch and watch Netflix. I should take pouty mouth pics for my press kit. I should defy the rules of logic. I should invent some quirky new merchandise product. I just want to rap good and not sell breadsticks. I will not become a martyr for the deadbeats. I will shave my beard off by the end of this week. I will go out and learn to socialize and figure out why all my ex-girlfriends hate me. I'm going to put this big brain to good use. I'm going to write rap songs to find objective truths. I'm going to be better than my father. I'm going to upload well-edited pictures to Flickr. I'm going to eat a lot more Fig Newtons and sign petitions by women's rights movements. ex-girlfriends, that's going to be the header. I don't make promises I can't keep, which is why I won't make promises ever. Write letters to those ex-girlfriends, that's going to be the header. I wish I met you on Legends of the Hidden Temple. I wish I wasn't so incomprehensible. I wish I was more like the Ubermensch. My fears didn't have such a putrid stench. I think my muscles should be bigger. I don't know much about being in nothingness, but I could just be a being of nothingness. I heard there's going to be a rap parade. Come on, try it.
Nothing is forever. Got to be something better than in the middle. The incinerator. Put it all together, we could drive it hard.
We were driving and I yelled padiddle. You started crying, so I cried a little. I'm almost positive if I made better mix CDs, I would bother less with relationship complexities. You know, sometimes I stutter, sometimes I forget to put on cocoa butter. Sometimes I wish I was better at songwriting. Sometimes I feel like the master of thong wiring. In the future I will neuter my ambitions. I will give in to anxieties. I will observe superstitions. I will be Indiana Jones in small claims court. I will regret in high school that I never played sports. In the future I will be passive aggressive. In the future I will vote for the wrong guy. In the future I will be swayed by a strong bride. And a very firm handshake, and I will invite dinner guests over for ham steak. I will be gone before the rise of the oceans. I will become a squiggle in a string of potions. I don't make promises I can't keep, which is why I won't make promises ever. And when I write letters to those ex-girlfriends, that's going to be the header. I don't make promises I can't keep, which is why I won't make promises ever. And when I write letters to those ex-girlfriends, that's going to be the header. Come on, try a little. Nothing is forever. It's got to be something better than in the middle.
The incinerator. Put it all together, we could drive it home.
We can drive it with weak contrivance. 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 We can drive it with weak contrivance.
Oh, hey, Julie Draws. So we were talking about gesture earlier. How was the day? So far, today's going pretty darn well. I ended up changing up my notifications on Twitter so I get more art posts, and that really quite helped my mood and helped me to get really pumped and inspired for drawing today. So it's been a fairly relaxed, laid-back day. How's your day going?
Everybody should do in their lifetime sometime two things. One is to consider death, to observe skulls and skeletons, and to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never. That is a very gloomy thing for contemplation, but it's like manure. Just as manure fertilizes the plants and so on, so the contemplation of death and the acceptance of death is very highly generative of creative life. You'll get wonderful things out of that. And the other thing to contemplate is to follow the possibility of the idea that you are totally selfish. That you don't have a good thing to be said for you at all. You are a complete, utter rascal. Now, the Christians have avoided this, because although they say in their Episcopalian form of confession that we have erred and strayed from thy ways like lost sheep, and we have followed too much the devices and desires of our own hearts, too much, We have offended against thy holy laws. We have left undone those things which we ought to have done. We have done those things which we ought not to have done. And there is no health in us.
Pretty good, except our cat had a seizure this morning. He's still hurting, so we were trying to decide what's best. He's pretty old. Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that.
With the help of God's grace.
Well, I hope he gets to feeling better, or
It's a real calm act.
well, if you take him to the vet, maybe
If you equate health with
yeah, I hope you all figure out a good solution for that
then in that sense there is no health
minimizes
in us.
his suffering.
Look at ourselves from this point.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Now, when you go deeply into the nature of selfishness, what do you discover? You say, I love myself, I seek my own advantage. Now, what is the self that I love? What do I want? And that becomes an increasingly ever-deepening puzzle.
Inside my heart a little while. Come closer with the honey of your song. Your dance is a code, is a pathway to what's given. I am learning how to listen.
Let's actually make that head bigger.
Inside my heart a little while. From you comes the honey of my song. Tender to the tendrils, blooming color, taste and longing for you. Who kiss the metals of my reach. Our minds send us farther than our legs can carry us. But your flight weaves the membranes of our step. So we give our voices, to the ones who left us. So we give our voices to the ones who
Yeah, we are taking him in the morning. We just don't want him to suffer. At a certain point, anesthesia can be dangerous for older pets. That makes sense. Well, yeah, I hope he doesn't suffer too much once you get him to the vet. It definitely sucks though. I'm really sorry. How old is your cat? My roommate has a older cat, Belle, and she's like 19 years old. We're surprised every day that she's still around, honestly. Then we have a younger one that's like 2? If that. Actually, no, I think she might be 1.5. But no matter how old they are, it's still a shame when they start to go like that. I'm so sorry. Next song.
Monks used to keep skulls on their desks.
And next song.
If
Ooh, Santa the Great. I can make that head a little bit bigger.
If I told you about the time where I almost died, just trying to fit in with the new tribe. See, I've never been the one to have my head heavy set, but these days I feel heaven sent. Pretty lady, how did time go speed up? Childhood bedroom straight to your speaker. Not saying wrong notes don't heat up, but perfection not a real trade of a healer. I feel old pressure for the next summer hill. So strict on the dress code still. I ain't even had a chance for a growth spurt feel. Y'all stiff neck spitting on my homework, chill. And I woke up from my death, less of a cat to impress. Cause inner peace be the new
Just lay it
success.
up.
I looked up to the sky cause I figured I'm blessed. Hands on my chest, got me singing out cause yes I see. Is it real? Is it real? I see heaven. I feel ya. I see heaven. Is it real? I see heaven.
Tommy is 18, but he lived primarily outdoors until we took him. He's a sweet old man. Hey, sorry for venting. Bring down the mood. No, you're good. Sometimes it helps to get it out. Sometimes it helps to talk. But, oh, it sounds like he's a good cat. I'm sorry. You have a tough decision to make. But it definitely helps to talk about it, so don't worry. It's all good.
Almost cracked under the pressure. Diamond shiny, new black shiny mecca. Cause inner peace be the new success. And I guess cause I figured I'm blessed. Cause breath before death. Breath before death. Breath before death. Breath before death. I'm trying to get there.
I definitely feel like I'm moving a hell of a lot faster today thanks to warm-ups this morning. That helped. Gonna actually look up some photo reference. I'm not quite sure what the roots of a banyan tree look like. Banyan tree roots. Ooh, pretty. Let's find a picture of that. Yes, that'll do nicely. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Thank you.
You don't congratulate yourself for having grown one of the most fabulous jewels on earth. Yes, you don't
I'll
account for
stand
virtue.
that.
To see, to entertain the miracles of color and form. But that's real virtue. Virtue in the sense, the old sense of the word, as strength, is when we talk about the healing virtue of a plant. That's real virtue. But the other virtues are stuck on. They are ersatz, they are imitation virtues. And they usually create trouble. Because more diabolical things are done in the name of righteousness. And be assured that everybody of whatever nationality or political frame of mind or religion always goes to war with a sense of complete rightness. The other side is the devil. Our opponents, whether in China, Russia, or Vietnam, have the same feeling of righteousness about what they're doing as we have on our side. And the plague on both houses. Because, as Confucius said, the goody-goodies are the thieves of virtue, which is the form of our own property. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, in a way, the moral, or the immoral, of these considerations is that if you are really aware of your own inner workings, you will realize there's nothing you can do to improve yourself. Because you don't know what better is, in any case. And you, who will do the improving, are the one who needs to be improved. And this also goes for society. We can change society. We can get enormous enthusiasm going out of the idea that there is a revolution afoot and that this revolution is going to set everything to right. Do you know a revolution that ever set anything to right? Whether the revolution came from the left wing or from the right wing. The best forms of government that have ever existed in the world are those which muddled through. Well, they didn't have any very clear setup of control, but they muddled along. A kind of what I'll call controlled anarchy. Seems to work out.
No, this time it is Alan Watts.
When we have a great system,
This is actually
great power to put it into effect, there is always
my
more
Amid the
funds,
Flowers
more
playlist on
more
Spotify. It's made up of some songs and philosophical bits
whether it be Chairman Mao or
and a little bit of chill step too.
So, what instead, therefore, if we
Good
see
guess though. I do also like Joseph Campbell every now and then.
that you can't outwit yourself, you can't be, shall I say, unself-conscious on purpose. You can't
this
be
is
designedly spontaneous.
a track called Imitation Virtues
You
by
cannot be genuinely loving by intending to love.
Most Fear.
Either
At
you
Most
love
Fear.
someone or you don't. If you pretend to love a person, you deceive them and build up reasons for resentment. You say, well, I ought to be honest. That's the beginning. Oh, so many lies you can't imagine. It's like when I hear a lot about love. Big love thing on the way. Everybody's got to love everybody. We sing songs about love. Do you know what I do? I buy a gun and bar my door. Because I know there's a storm of hypocrisy. So, let's look at this thing from another point of view, which you will at first think highly depressing. Let's supposing we can't do anything to change ourselves. Suppose we're stuck with it. Now that is the worst thing an American audience can hear. There's no way of improving yourself. Because every kind of culture in this country is dedicated to self-improvement. Let's take jogging, that deplorable practice. It's a very nice thing to run and to go dancing across the hills at a fast
Tower of Myth is definitely good though.
But these joggers
It's been a while since I've listened to it.
shaking their bones, rattling their brains, running on their heels, and because there's
Either
a
that
group
or
of
Hero of a
instant
Thousand
talent,
Faces
good
though
for
in my
why do you go to school?
audiobook library. Forget which.
Oh, now look, now wait a minute. You may not clap when I'm through. There's only one reason for going to school. And that is that somebody's got something,
It's been a little bit more
whether it's a
time on it.
professor or a library, that you want to find out. That you are incredibly interested in. How to write Chinese characters, or how to understand botany. You would like to know. You're just interested in flowers. And you would like to find out everything there is to be known about them. That's the point of coming here. Or you might like to know how to practice yoga. And of course, it's now being offered at UCLA on Kundalini Yoga for credit. Pretty funny. When I think back 10 years.
For it.
But the whole point of coming to school is that you're interested in something.
There you go.
You don't come to improve yourself. But the trouble is that the schools got the wrong idea. They gave people honors for learning.
I do like
The
running.
reward for
I'm
studying
doing Catch to 5K,
French
but
should be the ability to speak French and enjoy reading French and having fun with French.
just jogging can be dreadful.
But when you get a degree for it, then the degree becomes the point.
Training for a marathon
In a
is
game
fun
of
though.
one-upmanship. And of course, one-upmanship is the main business in the educational community today.
Let's see.
You learn all the
Need
rules
some
of how
guidelines to
to be a good
perspective
professor.
right on this.
It's instructive to go to a professional professor's meeting. In my field, which is philosophy, you go to a congress of philosophers, and you'll find when they all get together in the bar or in the restaurant or in somebody's room, the one thing they don't talk about is philosophy. It is very bad form indeed to show interest in philosophy among your colleagues. The same is exactly true in clergy gatherings. They don't talk about religion. What they both talk about is politics. Church politics and academic politics. Because it's bad form to be brilliant on a faculty. Because it outclasses your colleagues. Therefore, faculty people tend to cultivate studied mediocrity. And you've got to watch out for that. Indeed, if you get mobs of students coming to your lectures, you get pretty black looks from your colleagues. And then, of course, there's a whole world of one-upmanship in research, publication, learned papers. What's the relative quantity of footnotes to basic texts, footnotes on footnotes, and the various ways of making your
Now to
bibliography
get
painfully
Cooley back on
accurate.
it. I used to run like the wind
But you see, what
in
it is,
the army,
it's
but that was
scholarship about scholarship.
long ago in a galaxy
Not
far, far away. I agree
Just
on
as
that.
learning,
The last
because
time I
learning is good
trained for a half marathon was
the whole idea
7
of
years
improving
ago?
yourself by learning is irrelevant
6
to
or
the
7
learning
no,
process.
7 or
And
8
in the
years
same
ago.
way, doing business is doing business. Doing
I've
business,
attempted
such
to
as,
get back into that shape though.
manufacturing, clothes, is a very good thing to do. I can conceive
Definitely
that it
takes
would
a
be
lot of
extremely
effort,
enjoyable.
a lot of
Something one to be
dedication.
very proud of, to make good clothes. Of course, you need to sell them. because
I
you need
imagine
to
in the army, pretty much, you
But to
know,
make clothes to make money
have to have that kind of dedication,
raises another question.
commitment at that point.
Because then your interest is not in making clothes, it's in making money, and then you're going to cheat on the clothes. Then you get an awful lot of money and you don't know what to do with it.
I always had a slow pace though. It was like,
You can't.
I think at
You can't
best,
eat 10 roasts of beef
10
in
minutes a
one day.
mile.
You can't live in 6 houses.
In the last year or
Can't drive
two,
3
probably
Rolls
closer to
Royces
12 to
at the same
14
time.
minutes a mile. I'm a very slow runner.
What do you do? Well, you just go make more money. Put your money back. Invest it in something else and it'll make more. You don't give a damn how it's made, so long as they make it. You don't care if they foul the rivers, put oil fumes throughout the air everywhere, kill off all the fish.
How about yourself?
So long as you see these figures happening, you're not aware of anything else. So you see, you went out to do a self-improvement thing. Making money, you see, is a measure of improvement, a measure of your economic worthwhileness. Or at least that's what it's supposed to be. It isn't anything of the kind. But you went out, in other words, for the status instead of for the actuality. So if, in other words, you do an art, you're a musician, why do you play music? The only reason for playing music is to enjoy it. If you play music to impress an audience, to read about yourself in the newspaper, you're not interested in music. So in the same way, why do I come and talk to you? Because I enjoy it. I like the sound of my own voice.
There you
I'm
go.
interested in what I'm talking about, and I get paid for it. And that's smart in this life, is to get paid for what you enjoy.
I've tried to get outdoors a little bit here in Lubbock. Unfortunately, it's not quite as beautiful as where I lived before, as far as running goes. Portland, it was a joy to run just because it was so gorgeous everywhere you turned. Here it's all dirt and wind for the most part. Not much else. Prairie dogs are pretty darn cute, though. Pretty much every empty lot in my neighborhood is overtaken by prairie dogs, so it's fun to go out for a run or a walk and see those little critters. There's a lot of loose dogs in my neighborhood, though, so I have to be careful because they will chase you, as I have learned. But I don't want that to stop me from getting back in shape. What I really need to do is get back into weightlifting. That was my real joy. Running is fun, but weightlifting, it was easier to kind of push myself hard and lose myself in it. It's always an enjoyable feeling when you just kind of get caught up in the process. Process over outcome. That's for sure.
So here's the situation, you see.
And I think I skipped
There is the whole idea of
one.
self-improvement is a will-o'-the-wisp and a hoax.
This one in real quick.
That's not what it's about. Let's begin where we are.
Graduated to fluffy dad bod, but
If you know,
so I don't
if
run
you know
too
the
much, but I still love to
obligation
hike.
goes
There you go.
that there is nothing you can do to be better.
Must live in a really nice scenic area then.
Well, it's kind of a relief, isn't it? Now, you say, well, now what will I do? See, there's a little fidget that comes up. Because we're so used to making things better. Leave the world a better place than when you found it, sort of thing. I want to be of service to other people and all these dreadfully hazy ideas. And so we think there's that little hitch still. But supposing instead of that, seeing that there isn't really anything we can do to improve ourselves or to improve the world, if we realize that that is so, it gives us a breather in the course of which we may simply watch what is going on. Watch what happens. Nobody ever does this. Therefore, it sounds terribly simple. It sounds so simple that it's almost looks as if it's worth doing. If you ever just watch.
Change my position real quick.
Watch what's happening.
I was falling asleep.
And watch what you are doing by way of reaction to it. Just watch it happen. And don't be in a hurry to think you know what it is. In other words, people look at
What's the
say,
next
well,
one here? Ooh. Let's go with this.
Eastern sun melt the cold from my bones, cotton rise. Take the darkness from my eyes, breathing in, pulling life into my lungs as a child. I am born again. Eastern sun melt the cold from my bones, curtain rise. Take the darkness from my eyes, breathing in, pulling life into my lungs as a child.
We are about an hour from northwest Arkansas in the Ozarks, so it's got nice trails. Too bad it's filled with anti-maskers or we'd go more often. That sucks. It does sound like an ideal location though for going hiking. Never been to the Ozarks. I'm not even quite sure what they look like. I'll have to look up pics of it once I get done drawing today.
Again, eastern sun melt the cold from my bones, curtain rise. Take the
Why do the proportions look off here?
darkness, breathing in,
Let's see. Please don't.
Again.
Chosen and I can't fake, yeah. Great, hotly debated. And you want it, so you hate it. On the niggas that done made it. Don't blame the niggas that you came with. Blame the circumstance that kept your body faded. Or elevated, tap into your direction. Information, say affirmations. I just smile and bright as fuck. And my fire hot as fuck. My mind be high as fuck. Make me higher, fight or flight and lower desires. Here I am, a teacher, with a message from the ethers bumping through the speaker. It's so close, ain't no lock in my cookie. Shining brighter than your necklace. Your solar plexus, shining brighter than your necklace. They say my aura can demon. Since a child I've been dreaming of actualizing my gifts and mastering all the breathing. Me always been scheming on saving, yeah, from demons. They say my heroes was heathens, but since my birth I've been leaving. Got that warrior spirit on sight, I'll channel and hear it. I speak my mind cause I am sweet and don't fear it. All the chaos outside, I don't run from a high. I'm the neo sojourner, I'm free to land where I'm at. All my family that's down, from your room to your crown. Let your senses shine bright and reflect the light. Your solar plexus, shining bright within your necklace. Your solar plexus, shining brighter than your necklace. Your solar plexus, shining brighter than your necklace.
Have fun drawing. I'm going to get off here and walk for the fur babies. Sounds good. Thank you for checking in today, Chili Draws. Alan Childers. It is awesome hanging out with you. Catching up with your day. Enjoy your time with your fur babies. Probably a short one today, so I'm only going to be on for another 12 minutes. Okay.
I was born to tell a message from my son. The young me flew through the galaxy looking for a star to be my mother. She sang to me and called me close. She said she would give me some of her light and to call it my soul. She said she'd send me to be raised by her sister, Mother Earth. And in return, I'd have to radiate my soul for everyone I knew.
Ooh, yes, this song. Actually, I need to add in a bit more detail to these.
It's
It's an adventure, it's an occurrence with no deterrence. Patience is key, even though it feels urgent. Do you have the strength to sit with each moment? Identify your place in the scheme and then own it. Zoom out and see the overall picture. Take the thoughts with ya. Use pen to draft scripture. In the folds of time, the annals remind of the missteps that crumble kingdoms and will find. Amidst the ruins, strands of grass now ruined, displaying that the birth of an era had been looming. The new information breeds some new energy, a positive vibe that is available plentifully. What would you do with it? Be a true cynic, or will your legacy show that you grew with it? Take the path that leads to more light, don't miss out. This is your chance to shine bright. Where can we take you at this turn? On the surface of the sun, we may not get burned. So celestial, extraterrestrial. Music made with love, resurrecting you. Up from the sludge, up from the brine. Free from the shackles, free from the bind. Sight for the blind with some 8D glasses. Extra dimensions, best of intentions. That's not to mention heights of ascension. To those who would throw the wrench in. Gut wrenching the things that we don't all want to find. If you're staying in the former states of mind, goodbye. I see new horizons, yes, the sun's rising. So awe-inspiring, watch us just dive in. Thriving as we bask in the light, don't miss out. This is your chance to shine bright.
We see the path of the light that lives from the shadows to the haze of the maze that keeps me. Daughters to the moon and the tide she came from. There to the opportunity gives that eyes for witness. A choice is tasteless, consuming waste till we all gone nameless. Heart very evil and the dingy bed is bandaging up there to be all gone homeless.
This moment will not be. Without this moment would not be. Without this moment will not be. Don't do what you do, but you did it all up. Zeus and the light of this one. In the name of Jesus, daughters of the moon and the tide she came from. There to the new opportunity gives and comes fire in the dark. To be darting the mark. I'm looking for shade. Time. I am free from pain, and the world to never be the same. All right. Background. Aha. Finish the background on that one. I'm gonna look up photo reference of amphitheaters now. Tour amphitheater hill. Let's see what we have here for photo reference. I originally had a square design for this. I'm gonna undo. Turn that on.
Well, you know, the biggest ego trip going is getting rid of your ego. And the joke of it all is your ego doesn't exist. There's nothing to get rid of. It's an illusion, as I tried to explain. But you still want to ask how to stop the illusion. Now, who's asking? I mean, do you think, in the ordinary sense in which you use the word I, how can I stop identifying myself with the wrong me? Well, the answer is simply you can't. You cannot catch hold of it, nor can you get rid of it. In not being able to get it, you get it. When you speak, it's silent. When you are silent, it speaks.
Creating concrete visions of a microcosmic prism with a brilliant optimism and appropriate ambition to be open from the center, redirected to the moment. This is it, love. This is it, love. Unrestrainable nature can change it from the edges. We can challenge all our borders. There is always a leader. There is always an order. Our pathway is proceeding and the way is always changing. We are free from influences to realize our destination. Oh, oh, free from all old stories I've been told. I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Free from all old stories I've been told. I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Awareness is my virtue, and I'm grateful for the search to dive deep within my own mind and to trust the intuition of the lives I've lived before this are essential form of gnosis. It's a simple form of freedom. It's as smooth as inhalation. Oh, the exhale is releasing all the tension I've been feeling on the surface and beneath me. I'm connecting to my spirit, and I'm here now, right before you. I am present in this moment, and my life's work is to honor the great beauty all around you. Oh, oh, free from all old stories I've been told. I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Free from all old stories I've been told. I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Creating concrete visions of a macrocosmic vision with a brilliant optimism and appropriate ambition to be open from the center, redirected to the moment. This is it, love. This is it, love. Unrestrainable nature. This is it, love. This is it, love. This is it, love.
This is Japanese ceremonial tea. It's good on a cold day. See, our problem is we don't really know how to stop it. We've got something started, we see it's going in the wrong direction. And I think the difficulty is, to borrow an old Chinese saying, that when the wrong man uses the right means work in the wrong way. In other words, there's something wrong with the way we think. And while that is there, everything everything we do will be a mess. Now, what is it that's wrong? Now, as far as I can see, the basic mistake is that we've invented this wonderful system of language and calculation, and that it is at once too simple to deal with the complexity of the world, and also we are liable to confuse that system of symbols with the world itself, just as we confuse the same money with wealth. A lot of people are in business to make money instead of wealth. When they make the money, they don't know what to do with it. And I wonder if we feel cut off from everything, alienated, frightened of life and death. So what has to happen is we have to come back to a view of our own life, which is the way we really are, an organism functioning in terms of the whole environment, with the whole environment, instead of this funny little separate personality. But how are we going to do that? You can't transform yourself. You can't make yourself sane. You can't make yourself loving. You can't make yourself unselfish. And yet it's absolutely necessary that we be that way. If we are going to hand over the direction of nature to nature, it's absolutely necessary. I'm not going to say what we should do, but simply that before we think of doing anything in this critical situation, we realize the completely illusory nature of the beings that we think we are, and get back again to the beings that we really are, which includes all this outside world, no longer left outside.
Excuse me. Woo! Tea went down the wrong hole.
Once now, twice now, every weekend. Lean in, beloved friend. Bits of tender real. Tap the cup and pour the rubies. Wild laughter, lust and beauty. Find to me with patience. I'll write you novels of acquaintance. Yeah, find to me with patience. I'll write you novels of acquaintance. Thank you, dear family, for stepping in unanimously. Everywhere we come, there's home. Simply place for sure. It's boundless worlds we're in. Orbits, rodents, spreading kin. Teach me treasure, grow me strong. Give me strength and every soul. trails and trails of paper. A firm-footed letter lover. You're the best thing I've discovered. It's a love song, it's true. No risk, no rush, no clue. No threats, no strings, no boundary. Maybe you keep me grounded. Yeah. Find to me with patience. I'll write you novels of acquaintance.
So go in and add some finishing flourishes. Detailing this. Ooh, I like this pencil.
I'll write you novels of acquaintance. I'd never be here without all your hands rejoice and shout. You who came broken, weary, sick, step into the clearing. Let this be a moment healing. I see you, picture perfect. Rise together, lose no faith that I've got you and you got me. Yeah, find to me with patience.
Actually, I said I was only going to go for an hour today, and it's an hour and 14 minutes. So I am actually going to go ahead and call the stream a quits. And I'm going to take a quick stretch, and then I'm probably going to get back to drawing for another hour or so before I have to have dinner. So I have kirtan at 6:30 and bed at 8:30. And kirtan on Wednesdays and Sundays now tends to run for 2 hours. So I don't really have too much time left in the day for other stuff. So I'm going to go do that. But if you tuned in today, Alan Childers, thank you so much for tuning in. For everybody else who's catching this afterwards, thank you as well. You can catch me online on Twitter as Just Dulac. That's JUSTDULAC. And you can find my portfolio website, my old dead name, which is Rachel Dulac. That's RACHAELDULAC.com. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in today and for, watching this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and just remember to keep breathing. All right.